There is increasing concern that Dylan Raiola might be out at Nebraska. Let's talk about what this decision will mean for the Huskers and what needs to happen next. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer questions in the comments below. Do you expect Dylan Raiola to hit the transfer portal here when it opens on January 2nd? Because already with just one game left to go, big game against Iowa, we don't expect Raiola to play. And last week we got news that his younger brother decommitted from the program. This has led others to ask what's actually going on with QB1 and what the future of the program is going to look like come 2026. Now, remember, Nebraska got off to a really great start. Could have been a fantastic year. Start 6-1, and it feels to most people like they got the guy that they were promised when Raiola flipped his commitment from Georgia to the Huskers. But now it feels like Raiola is returning to high school form. You'll remember that Raiola played at a couple of different high schools, transferred a couple of different times, was committed to Ohio State at one point, then committed to Georgia, and then last flipped to Nebraska, where his father was an All-American, where his uncle is the offensive lineman, and where Matt Rule really wanted to have him. And now the guy that is getting paid $3.5 million a year, which is up there with the best quarterbacks in the country, guys that are playing for spots in the college football playoff this weekend, like Carson Beck, like John Mateer, it just hasn't gone that way. And some of this is the offensive line. Some of this is breaking your fibula, like it's going to put you out of commission for a while. Some of this is TJ Lateef, but also it's that they just did not get to the heights that they thought they would in a year where Indiana is once again one of the best teams in college football, and Texas Tech is one of the best teams in college football, and BYU is one of the best teams in college football. Like, the list goes on. Nebraska is in that same group of teams that we've expected to make the college football playoff multiple times that hasn't. Teams like USC, teams like Wisconsin, teams like Florida, who are itching to get what they think is theirs while they watch SMU, Indiana, Boise State, Cincinnati, others make it into this tournament with the schedule that basically feels like Nebraska could use to get to the playoff even this year. One that's not hard, but it's not easy either. Remember, they play a Big Ten schedule, but it was a light schedule. So what we're really looking at is a mutual parting of the ways. And this is, according to my reporting and some others, it's CBS actually has a really good report on this. And I know that there's a few people outside of television networks that are digging about it. And the guys at Husker Online do a great job. But I'm also going to point out, like, this is the final year for Dylan Raiola to play college football. And it doesn't look like they're going to be a team that contends for a college football playoff spot next year. And he wants to play professional football. Now, after having a great freshman year, leading him to a bowl game, they're going to go bowling again for a second straight year. He threw for 2,000 yards and 18 TDs to 6 interceptions in just 10 games this year. He's having a great year. But the dominoes for the market and what he can gain, what he can get, what his brother can get are beginning to fall into place. Just because the portal doesn't open until January 2nd doesn't mean guys aren't already making deals, right? So Carson Beck goes to Miami, gets $4 million to play there. That might be an option for Dylan Raiola, is what you're thinking if you're Raiola. Nebraska fans might think something different about this, given what they've seen from him. But what I found interesting about all of this is that Matt Rule has been in lockstep with his quarterback from the moment that he became their guy. It's been a really cool partnership to watch, because head coaches, at least in the college level, haven't made a habit of trying to look at their quarterbacks like a peer. But when they have, it's worked. Like Fran Brown is playing without a quarterback this year, a la Michigan last year. But when he had Kyle McCord, the one thing he would say is, I'm leading, but I need you. Like, I'm one, you two. We got to be in lockstep on this. And he took a little bit of flack for that, right? Because coaches and whatnot. But the point was there. If the quarterback is good and the quarterback believes in you and y'all are going in the same direction, you're probably going to win football games. So it befits, the sport that the head coach and the quarterback are going to be drift compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to be two dudes that be on the sideline hitting fusion while the defense is on the football field because it's got to be that tight. They got to trust each other that much. One guy's got to trust that the other one has the vision. The other one's got to go out there and execute it. And when it works, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Like there are a lot of things I can tell you about Lincoln Riley, but one of my favorite things to tell you about him is when he's in lockstep with his quarterback, it's a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, that's like his little brother out there, no matter who it is. And you see that pays dividends. Eric Morris is going to be the new head coach at Oklahoma State. And I think he has every chance to be as good as Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma. Like that's how much I believe in that hire, and I really enjoy it. And I've said so, and you can watch that segment. But here, as we're talking about Raiola, it's not even a money thing, which tells you more about what Raiola wants and what Nebraska wants. Rev share is going to go up at Nebraska next year. He's going to get paid more. He comes back. But as these things continue to go, and as this kind of news gets to me and others, you're coming to a spot where you want to know, is TJ Lateef your guy or not? And TJ Lateef has played well, but is TJ Lateef better than Dylan Raiola? Is he as good as Dylan Raiola? If he's as good as Dylan Raiola, I think you're willing to risk all of this. And I don't think you wouldn't if you knew that he wasn't. But Lateef's also going to get opportunities to go play big time college football elsewhere if you stick with Raiola. And I think that's at the bottom of this. You no longer have the luxury of waiting, right? You have to say, are you going to be my guy next year or not? Matter of fact, this is actually not new. So 2003, LSU wins the national championship, and Matty Mock and others were on that team. And as they're celebrating winning the national championship, Nick Saban pulls aside Matty Mock and others. I think Michael Clayton was also one of the guys he pulled aside. And this is in Monty Kiffin's book, The Making of a Coach, which is great. The anecdote is he pulls him aside and he says, "Hey guys, I need to know right now, are you coming back? Because if you're not, I need to figure it out at the night of the national championship game, because that's how important it was to know what he was working with going into the next season." Also tells you a lot about how Nick Saban's mind was working even in 2003, 23 years ago, and the way that others have had to catch up to what he was doing just, years ago. I think you got to remake the roster. You start doing it now. And if you're going to start throwing money at the roster, you start doing it now. And it starts with the quarterback. So they need an answer.